thing for sure, Jamaica is in Africa. I don't care what the geographers say, because do you know how much that scarred me when I was 10? Do you understand? I'm sorry.
I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. Jamaica is one of the most influential black countries on this planet Earth. On this planet Earth, hands down, Jamaicans is one of the most influential people on this planet that will stand against anything. I don't care. Back in the day, everyone had to claim to be Jamaican to be accepted. I don't care. Nowadays, everyone's being accepted. Everybody's music is being accepted. Everything's being accepted. But we were standing out when none of us was really accepting. When they weren't even accepting black music, when they weren't even accepting them spaces, we were still standing out there and telling people exactly who we were and what we represent. And that is the reason why we stand as one of the most influential countries on this planet. And I don't care what nobody says, because we're a country of 3 million people. We're a country of 3 million people. And we influence from our lands all the way that way and all the way that way. Okay? So I just want to shout out. I just want to shout out to all my Jamaicans. And I just wanted to shout out to all the people that love Jamaica, because we're one influential motherfucking country and nobody can tell me differently. And I respect my country highly, and I will always talk about my country highly because we're one of the top. And I don't care, the haters can come, but we are one of the most influential countries. And the reason why corporations and brands and everybody will continuously to watch what we're doing year on year on year, because we set records. Period. Done.
In this video, we take a look at why a lot of people think or believe that Jamaica is in Africa. Should you go on the street and then ask random people as to where Jamaica is, you would see that a lot of people would tell you that Jamaica is in Africa. But why do you think that this is so? Why do some people think or believe that Jamaica is in Africa? Is it because of the skin color of the people of Jamaica? Or is it because of the ancestral history of Jamaica that makes people think that Jamaica is actually in Africa? We'll find out more about this in this video. So let's watch these clips and then we'll come back here and talk more about it. But before we watch these clips, if you haven't yet liked this video, kindly like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Let's watch the clips together.
What language do people from Africa speak?
Jamaican. Are you being serious? It's not.
Are you being serious? Where's Jamaica?
African. Where's Jamaica? Jamaica.
Can you name 5 countries in Africa?
Jamaica.
Jamaica is not in Africa, bro.
Is it not?
It is known that Jamaicans are from Ghana, from the Akans, from the Ashanti tribe, and also.
So I've been recently seeing a lot of videos on this whole Ghana-Jamaican relationship. I just want to touch on it quickly because I feel like a lot of it's coming from a pure place. However, the way we are talking about the history and the relationship is a bit skewed. There is a relationship, or there is the impact of peoples that are from what is now called Ghana to Jamaica, right? However, they are not the dominant group in Jamaica. In fact, there is no dominant group. People need to remember that there is no dominant people in terms of ethnically in the Jamaicans in the period of enslavement during in Jamaica, sorry. To understand this, we need to understand this. When it comes to Jamaican history and culture, we must get away from looking at our history through a colonial lens. What I mean by that is we should never be saying that Jamaicans come from Ghana or Jamaicans come from Nigeria, because there was no Nigeria, there was no Ghana when our ancestors were being taken from there. Is it? And these things are modern constructs. These things are modern products of colonialism. You see it? So that's where that's. Point 2.
Are from Ghana, from the Akan, from the Ashanti tribe, and
that's where that's. That's where. That's it where. Hear what I'm saying? Historically, the Ashanti would have been more likely to be the ones trading people than to be the ones traded. And I think it's important for us to get away from looking at history through an imperial lens and deifying imperialism. We have more of a relationship, or more of an impact from the other tree-speaking peoples of the Akan than we do with the Ashanti and other people of what is now known as Ghana, like the Ga. The next thing and the final thing is that when it comes to Jamaican culture and history, right? Well, Jamaican culture, we need to understand that it has multiple origins. Jamaican culture has multiple, say with me, multiple origins. Multiple origins. For instance, one of the videos, a man said that ackee comes from Ghana.
Ackee, which is part of Jamaica's national dish, ackee and saltfish, originates in Ghana, although Ghana...
Which ackee? Kiana Wanya. They said ackee comes from Ghana, but it's not true. There's zero evidence. Zero evidence that ackee comes from Ghana. What we do know is that this fruit, or at least the name for this fruit, it's a cashew nut, by the way. This fruit is where we get the word ackee from. In the Akan language, this is known as akeya or achia. Is it? And they believe that this is where we get the name ackee from. However, in the Kru language of Liberia, they call this eki. You know what I'm saying? Eki.
Ghana feels like Jamaica. Ghana even smells like Jamaica. Even some of your language is similar to Jamaica. So, you know, the way some of the villages talk, I don't know what you call it. We call it patois, but you guys speak and you say, you know, adekam. And, you know, that kind of, it's similar to patois.
Pidgin.
Yeah, pidgin, there you go. So pidgin and patois, very similar. And, you know, even some of the tree language, like there are people in Jamaica that still use certain words. So some of the foods are the same.
So you think you're English? You think you're Anglo-Saxon? I wish some of you would go to England and say some of these things to these white people, because they'll quickly put you in your place and tell you to go back to Africa. You are the only ones who don't know where you're from, and it's really sad. Yes, you speak patois. What do you think patois is made up of? A lot of it is African words. And if you really want to know what tribes we came from, it's so easy. Just look at the language that we speak, which is patois. A lot of the words are from the Ashanti tribe. I'm just surprised that a lot of Jamaicans don't know these things. You know, it's basic history, really. But it just shows you how much the education system has failed us, because we don't know ourselves. Most Jamaicans struggle with English. In fact, not just Jamaicans. Most black people in the West who speak the language of their colonizers struggle with the language. That's why you end up with Creole and patois. We have to mix up the African in there to express ourselves. English is not ours. It belongs to another group of people. Languages are born out of a culture. English didn't come from us. There are so many simple things that tell us who we are. There's so much African retention around us, including the fact that we speak patois. It's not rocket science, and it's just shameful to see this display of ignorance on social media.
Going to Ghana for the first time, I understand, was also another milestone, because many people might not know, but the flag that we fly with the red, green and gold, it is the flag of Ghana. Yeah. Many people say, yeah, it's Rasta. Yeah. People say, hey, it's a Rasta flag. No, It's an African flag. You understand? Marcus Garvey is the person who let Kwame Nkrumah put the black star in the center of the flag to represent us. You understand? And that's why we fly that flag. So even the flag that we fly, you understand? It's from Ghana. And we see Ghana as the rainbow circle throne. Like our Christian or a Roman Catholic would say, okay, going to Vatican is a big thing for them, going to Jerusalem. It's like, you understand? So for I and I as a Bobo Shanti Rastafarian, going to Ghana was a milestone.
I am a Black American and I absolutely love to travel to the continent of...
This is for the African Americans who think exactly like her, because I know it's not all of you. Whenever you decide to buy a ticket and visit another country, predominantly Africa or the Caribbean, can you please make sure to leave that stereotypical mindset that was inflicted upon you by these white people that oppressed you at the door before you enter? And if you can't do that, simply don't go. Girl went to Africa and someone got injured. Oh my God, someone got injured. Someone's phone got stolen. Oh my God, someone's phone got stolen. Sweetheart, you are from a country where a teenager can go to Walmart and buy a gun. America has the highest number of serial killers. You are from a country where when a white teenager feels depressed, he goes and shoots up a school. You are from a country where people who look exactly like you get murdered in broad daylight with all the evidence to show that they were actually murdered and never get any justice. So please explain to me how you can boldly acknowledge crime or incidents elsewhere, but you can't notice it in your own backyard. So crazy to me how the Western world have conditioned and convinced themselves and the people in their community to believe that crime exists everywhere else apart from the Western world. No, because let me do this again. Did people not die at Ariana Grande's concert in Manchester, England? Did Kim Kardashian not get robbed at gunpoint in Paris? And yet you still only acknowledge that crime exists in Africa? Some of these people are the same ones who will come on social media and make these stereotypical jokes about Africa, about the fact that Africa doesn't have any water. Meanwhile, Michigan don't have none neither. You lot will come on this app and stay shouting about how they live in mud huts and how they live in trees, but will never take a moment to look at the statistics of homelessness in LA and New York. People like you will come on this app and stay preaching and talking about how impoverished and poor and disadvantaged and how sad it is to be African and live in Africa because of how Africa is. Meanwhile, you're getting oppressed in your own country. Believe it or not, it's the same way when some of them go to the Caribbean. And you know, funny enough, same thing happens in Jamaica. Same thing. If you ever travel to Jamaica, just make friends with one of the staff at the hotel and ask them the worst guests who visit, and they will boldly tell you African Americans. And you wonder why some Caribbeans and Africans simply just don't like some of you. Because you lot come here and stay in other people's business and stay talking shit, knocking your cent against somebody else's dollar. You lot can really stay at the land of the free that ain't free. You really can stay there. Nobody's begging you to carry your bag and come. Do you understand? Don't buy tickets. Stay home.
Like even though I'm from the Caribbean, I identify as African. Like in my heart,
I don't identify myself as a black person anymore. I identify myself as a Jamaican person.
I mean, Jamaican. I've always identified as a Grenadian.
Cool. Then keep it like that. And the reason why I say that is because Grenada has more history to you than actual word black.
100%.
Because if you go into your Grenadian history, you'll go back to your roots.
I have.
Which is the Arawaks people.
Yeah, the Carib and the Arawaks. But I'm also mixed with the actual people from the slave trade. I've done my family tree. I'm mixed with all of it.
Where?
All of it. I'm not sure which part of Africa my granddad's from.
He didn't come from Africa.
Yes, he does.
You look like you come from Sri Lanka.
I know.
You look like Sri Lanka. Look at this Sri Lankan guy. Well, you look like a Sri Lankan guy.
I know, I do. And every time I see them, I'm like, wow, we look like family. Do you want to be friends? I'm looking for a Sri Lankan friend, Indian friend. I want some of that culture because I didn't have it, but I know that it's in me. Like, some of my family are totally Indian. Some of them are totally black.
You said that to me. You said, even when I saw your auntie.
She's totally Indian though. She doesn't even have black.
So I live in Ochi, right? And for some reason, people always think that I'm a tourist. Today, somebody told me, welcome to Jamaica. I was in the supermarket shopping and they were like, welcome to Jamaica. I wonder if it's because of how I dress, and why is it assumed that when people dress nicely, they're not from Jamaica, or whenever them dress cultural, they're not from Jamaica. I get it though, because most Jamaicans don't really dress cultural, but look at what my outfit is today. So this is it. I guess I kind of look like somebody who come from Africa, or maybe look like one black American or something like that.
Welcome back. So the original inhabitants of the land of Jamaica is the Arawak people or the Taino people. And also during the transatlantic slave trade, Africans or people from Africa were taken to Jamaica in order to work over there on the plantations. So people from particularly Ghana were taken from West Africa and then taken to Jamaica to work over there on the plantation. So there are a lot of people whose roots are actually from Ghana. That is in regards to the ancestral heritage of the people of Jamaica. Now, apart from the indigenous people being the Arawak people, and then the Tainos, and then the slaves who were brought in through the transatlantic slave trade from Africa, also people from other parts of the world were also brought into the country for other works in the country of Jamaica. So when you look at Jamaica as a country, it is a racially diverse country in the sense that there are people who are black, there are also people who are white, there are people who even have Chinese origin, Indian origin, and other races in the country of Jamaica. But predominantly, majority of Jamaicans are black people whose origin are from the African continent. And I believe that they being from the African continent influences the culture of Jamaica a lot. And so some people may believe that Jamaica is in Africa. Also, since majority of the people from Jamaica are black people, that is their skin being black, people also believe that they are from Africa. That is why some people think that Jamaica is in Africa. But geographically speaking, the land of Jamaica is quite far away from Africa, even though majority of the people have their ancestral roots and origin from the continent of Africa. So that is why a lot of people think or believe that Jamaica is in Africa. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family, and don't forget to share on other social media platforms like WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, X, and other social media platforms. Also, subscribe to the channel. Just click the subscribe button down here. Click on the subscribe button. Click as well on the notification bell. And I'd like to see you again in my next video.